And welcome out to Woodland Park, everyone. We have the final round of 16 match here at the U.S. Amateur Matchplay Championship local bracket at Columbia, Tennessee. Today it's Drake Abernathy facing off against Bradford Watson. Everyone's here. It's a beautiful day, and we'll take you down to the first tee in just a minute. Stay tuned. We're back, hole one, Woodland Park. This match is about to get underway. Drake Abernathy has the tee here on hole one. And he has a big flex backhand.
Ooh, that's got to get back.
I'm joined here by Darius Turrentine. Yeah, he got some power on that one, didn't he? Bradford Watson now with his first shot of the day. Also chooses a backhand shot.
Yeah, that was a much better looking shot right down the middle.
Yeah,
no doubt about it, you know.
Yeah, especially with the basket in the alternate position, hugging this left side of the fairway. Bradford's in great shape here for his approach.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I believe Drake's shot got back in bounds, but we can't see it yet, so don't want to count on that.
Yeah, that's one thing. One thing that might have played a factor in Drake's shot is the wind really picked up right before this match began.
Yeah, with the tee pad being tucked the way it is, you know, sometimes it's hard to read what the wind's doing out here when you get out into the open. But
and especially from the red tee, the short tee, that road really comes into play on a windy day. I've seen plenty of tee shots going out of bounds, and Drake's looked more like a shot from the short tee with its flight path there and how it was heading out toward the road.
Yeah, honestly, John, I totally agree. Which the long tee, you know, you have the tree line to the left that comes into play as well, though. So you got to be more like Bradford, just keep it straight down the middle.
And the temperatures warmed up nicely after we had freezing temperatures in the evening hours. And
yeah, I was just thinking that, John. I wish the weather of my match would have been like this.
Yeah, so weather cannot be a complaining factor.
I probably would have won after hole 10 if the weather was like this.
All right, so looks like Bradford Watson has arrived at his disc, and I think he is out. So Bradford Watson now with his second shot, hole one. Sounds like they're discussing who is out right now. Drake Abernathy's still looking for his disc. But he told Bradford Watson to go on ahead and take his second shot So it looks like he is going to do that. So here's Watson, second shot, hole 1. And just a smooth backhand approach there. Looked like maybe he used a putter.
Yeah, you know, did exactly what he needed to do. Just a little short left, probably 15-foot putt.
Yeah, just on the edge of the fairway, so he'll have a nice, easy look back at the basket.
So it looks like Drake's disc landed just above that concrete culvert there, and he's gonna have some tricky footing. I think he's gonna be forced with a standstill there.
He's just a meter inbounds, but he navigates the challenge well. He's literally right next to Bradford Watson.
Yeah,
there,
absolutely.
so.
You know, that disc landed underneath the basket. Just had a good skip there. So these guys are gonna have about the same putt.
Yeah, and I think the wind has died down now once we've gotten down in this lower section of the fairways. So really no excuses for missing this putt here. We've seen some people miss.
Yeah, I know.
From this.
Yeah, John.
Location.
Me or you would definitely not miss this putt. Now, these guys, you know, nerves still may be a factor here, so we'll see.
Funny you say that, because I actually did miss this putt the other day.
So, that may have been why I said that, John. But me and you would never miss a putt.
Yeah.
Do you not remember my match? I missed the same exact putt.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to get it. So here we go. Drake Abernathy is out. Here's third shot, hole 1.
All right,
Focus.
hands at left side. Pressure's back on Bradford. Here we go.
And just skips out.
Left side as well.
Drake Abernathy is going to take hole 1 with a 3. He's 1 up, heading to 2. We'll be there in just a minute. Back hole 2, 275 feet up the hill, par 3. Drake Abernathy has the tee. He's 1 up. And big backhand, a little low.
No, right down the middle, just a little low, but he had a good skip there.
Yeah, he did. Definitely got some.
I think he'll be just outside the circle.
All right, Bradford Watson now, tee shot hole 2.
That's looking good.
Yeah, he had some nice height there, and it kicks right back toward the basket. He'll be within 30 feet.
Yeah.
Looking at cleaning up this hole with it too.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that was a real good shot there. Pretty much well executed. Your 2 obstacles here: the road, long right, and then tree line. You know, you don't want to mess with these pine trees here.
No, those low branches are real flight killers. So it looks like Drake Abernathy does have his old caddy from the past with him today, Alex Burns.
The Alex Burns.
So
coming out of retirement.
I believe last time we saw these two together with Alex caddying, Drake was playing against Dave Quint.
And if you remember, John, it was a humiliating defeat by Mr. Number 1.
Yeah, it was a tough day for Drake. I think Bunzilla had just died.
R.I.P. Bunzilla. That was a tough day, but
so Drake's back. Alex Burns is back to support him, and here he is with his second shot, hole 2. And he had the distance, just hit the band.
Yep.
So great attempt there by Abernathy. So here's Watson with the opportunity to get the 2 and get this match back to all square. Let's see if he can do it. And it's dead center. Bradford Watson takes hole 2. We're back to all square. We'll be at hole 3 in just a minute. We're back hole 3. Bradford Watson has the tee. Match is all square. A nice flex back in, hugging that left side of the fairway. Ends up just to the left of center.
That was a nice pull there. Nice and flat, real smooth.
Abernathy with his tee shot, and it's going left.
Yeah.
Into the woods on the left side. He's got some work to do from there, Darius.
Yeah, that's not ideal. You know, it's if you ask me, it's worse than going OB on this hole. You know, getting out of there and saving your 4 from there is not impossible, but it's pretty close. This whole plays so far uphill that the distance really kills you when you can't get a good solid footing on your second shot. So.
And there's plenty of places in there where literally your only option is to just throw it right back out into the fairway. You can't even get any closer to the basket.
Yeah, which as we've seen, Mr. Number 1 he's aggressive. So we've seen him get himself into some trouble, but let's see if he can make something happen. You know, we don't really know exactly how deep he is just yet. So.
Yeah, and this match play format definitely caters to someone who is a little more aggressive than normal. So we might see Drake hit that accelerator pedal like you said.
We're already seeing some good sportsmanship by Mr. Flight Co. himself. He's helping Abernathy find his disc here. Looks like his caddy has located it.
Yeah, like you mentioned there, Bradford Watson, the owner of Flight Co. And that brand's really been taking off here in the last year. It's exciting to see what's going on there.
Well, I know he released his Flight Co. team this year. I've heard nothing but great things about them. They have great products. I'm wearing the hat right now, actually, as we speak.
Very cool.
It's good products. You guys check them out.
And hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more Flight Co. once normal tournament and league play resumes here in Middle Tennessee.
I would imagine so. And just we did just start the timer, so Drake has about another minute and 45 seconds to find this disc, and
it's really buried in there, Darius. They have their eyes looking up and down, and
I'm gonna go on a limb, and I'm gonna say he can't save par from here.
So while we're here waiting on them to find this disc, have there been any big surprises so far in this first round from what you've seen, and maybe who's won or who's lost a match?
You know, I'll say I've seen some good matchups, and I think honestly this is the first year I've seen a lot of really evenly paired matchups. I think it's kind of a shame that we can't see some of these guys move on, but I feel like we've seen some pretty good action during this first round here.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting to see who can end up on top and earn that trip to the state bracket, which I believe is going to be in July this year. And I have not heard exactly where they're planning to play that, but Jeff Castellina is the state coordinator, and we'll definitely relay that information along to all of you as soon as it is confirmed. But that timer is ticking down here for
I
Abernathy.
don't think we've seen this happen yet, John, where a competitor can't find their disc. You know, that would really turn the tables here if he can't locate where his disc landed.
I'm sure you can see at home just how thick this brush is in the camera. Once you get back behind the first line, it really does open up, but it does not remove that thick barrier you have. And you're just hoping a lot of times that there's some sort of a hole up top there through the trees just to get back in the fairway. That's it. No matter where Drake ended up here,
right,
he's going to really have a tough time winning this hole.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Bradford's right where he needed to be, and just going back to Bradford's shot, he really trusted his disc there on the left side of that tree line. You know, he hugged the left side, but trusted his disc, had a good bit of turn, and I'll tell you, it's about one of the better shots you can get. I prefer to be on the left side, and you know, it's unfortunate that I think Drake tried the same line there and just stabled up just a little bit more than he expected.
And you know, with this new alternate pin location up there, it's just going to accentuate these shots that can head into the weeds on the left side, because you're going to be hugging this left line at least at the end here.
That and you know, when you approach this first tree line, the left side is the side that has no trees. So
yeah,
you know, you almost want to stay that way anyways to avoid, you know, all the trees as possible. But yeah, I expect when we finally move this pin position, I expect to see I expect to see more people searching for disc on this left side here.
Yeah. And there are, I believe, 5 people in there looking right now. So this is a pretty tough one to find. Real tough break. You saw Abernathy there tapping his wrist, thinking that maybe his time is up. But this is honestly one of the longest searches for a disc that we've ever had in a match play competition here at Woodland Park. Never had a disc this lost in a match. Taking out a first-person view, Drake Abernathy searching for a disc.
I just have to rank the, it'll be so 130 gram Ricky Destroyer, if anybody finds it.
130 gram Ricky Destroyer is what Drake is reporting it as. If any of our viewers at home come out and play this course later. And I know Drake would appreciate that disc being returned. Sounds like he might be choosing to re-tee and take the penalty stroke. So, really tough break there for Abernathy. And Watson just really needs to take advantage of this. Try to keep himself up early in this match. That would be a huge thing that could work to his advantage later on. See, Abernathy has made the decision. He's coming back to the tee. And hopefully he'll be able to stay in the fairway this time. And the winds are really calm now, so wind should not be a factor for his tee shot. But those trees are not going anywhere. So see if he can keep that out of his head, stay focused, and do what he knows he can do. So after having the lost disc and a penalty stroke, Drake Abernathy's back at the hole 3 tee with his third shot. And this time, It went hard right over the spectators' heads and out of bounds. So he will now be shooting 5 after taking the penalty for going out of bounds and marking his disc. So it's going to be very difficult for Bradford Watson to not win this hole at this point. Really unfortunate set of circumstances for Drake. But I will say, if you're going to have some mistakes, you might as well have them all in one hole, because it's only going to put you down by 1 in match play competition. It would just be even more disastrous in a stroke play competition. But with his 5th shot, Abernathy stays inbounds, so he'll now be trying to get under the basket in 6 throws.
Yeah, you know, again, John, that's tough. You can't let that happen. But it's very unfortunate. You know, he couldn't find his disc. You know, it's thick in there. You know, I went in there even myself for a second to try to look for it, and I was surprised at how thick it has gotten already.
All right, so here's Watson with his 2nd shot, hole 3. And Bradford Watson, with a great turnover backhand shot there. He's going to have a nice clean lane to approach the basket for his 3rd shot.
Yeah, you know, and here for Bradford here, Drake
Abernathy just conceded hole 3. So that means Bradford Watson is now 1 up. So we'll be at hole 4 in just a minute. Back hole 4. Bradford Watson is 1 up now. He has the tee.
Oh no.
It just hit a branch on the left side, kicked hard left into the woods.
Yeah, it was moving in the right direction. It just caught the very last limb on the right side.
All right, Abernathy now. And he turned his forehand drive a little bit, and it kicked into the right side of the fairway, but I think he'll have a clean look up to the dogleg bench.
Bradford went pretty hard left into the stuff, so he may not have a clean look. At least, you know, Abernathy, I think he's at least in the open. He should be able to lay up for his shot. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Abernathy can rebound after that tough hole on 3.
That's tough. You know, I don't think we've ever seen a concede the way it just happened. You know, I think maybe he really meant to say he conceded the whole match there.
Yeah, it was definitely a grueling hole mentally for him, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Bradford Watson is looking for his disc. So Abernathy and his caddy Alex Burns are over there helping look.
You know, John, I feel like we've been searching for a lot of discs, and we're only 4 holes in. this may be the longest match we've ever seen if this keeps up.
Yeah, well, the first 5 holes have most of the woods, and then
I agree.
It'll open up a little bit.
Which it's been a back and forth match so far. You know, it's been interesting.
I think that Bradford Watson has just found his disc, so he's in business. He will not have to take a penalty stroke, which is good.
Which I do not believe he has any sort of line.
All right, so Bradford Watson now, second shot, hole 4. Seems like he's still trying to find his footing back there. So there are quite a few limbs down, but he is out at the bend. Well done there by Bradford Watson.
I don't think I would have drew it up much better than that, and Abernathy just follows it up with something a little better than that.
So it's going to be a race now from this dogleg bend to the basket.
They're both back on track here. It's really going to put some pressure on these third shots here to get them close.
This is just what we like to see, too. We've already had a couple lead changes, and we're just getting started.
Both players have already seen a little adversity when we're just 4 holes in. So.
All right, so
that's twice I've seen you do that from that.
Looks like
last time we played together, you had a great
out.
summer.
So he'll have the first attempt to get into this gap toward the basket now. And it's a blind shot for him. It's going to be bending slightly to the right. Watson, third shot, hole 4. And he was throwing a big forehand, had the power it looked like, but just hit a tree. So here's Abernathy. Clean release there by Abernathy, and it is right near the basket. Yeah, great shot there, Darius.
Looked like he put it right on the line he wanted, and that's a big shot. That's what he needed in this position.
I'd say with him being a little farther up the dog leg, it helped him have maybe an easier angle. Suited his game a little better.
He could definitely at least see the initial gap for the basket, and that's something Bradford definitely didn't have a visual on there.
All right, so Bradford Watson now. He just goes with a big tomahawk, and it's out.
Yep.
And he'll maybe have a look here with his
he'll
fifth shot.
He'll have a long look at it. He's gonna be moving downhill, so I think he'll have a good chance to run this putt.
But Abernathy definitely with an opportunity to try to get this match back all square.
Yeah, you know, and that's one thing we've seen is, I don't think we got footage of it, but the Kyle Caldwell match, looking at the scorecard, you know, it was a big turn, but most of the time, you know, when you get down, it's tough to make that comeback, so you want to keep it close.
All right, so Bradford Watson now from 60 feet out. And just hit a small tree that was in the way there, but it looks like this green near the basket's really opened up since the last time we were out here. Tell that there's been some work done, looks very nice. So Abernathy now is able to step right up to his disc. He had parked it within 5 feet, taps it in, and he takes hole 4. We're back to all square, and we'll be joining everyone at hole 5 in just a minute. Stay tuned. right, we're back hole 5, 240 feet. We're all square. Abernathy has the tee. And he pulled it just a little left, but he got a favorable kick there back into the fairway, Darius.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he'll be upset with the kick.
All right, Watson now with his tee shot, hole 5. And it turned over too, and he got another kick. But his maybe went a little further forward than Abernathy's.
Yeah, they both had the line that I don't think I have dialed in yet.
It's been a pretty back and forth even match. I'd say when one of them's maybe had a mistake, the other has two other save. You know, we had that putt on 1 and then the debacle on 3 for Abernathy, but they've really been staying neck and neck. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, man, you know, and I think this is the way this hole plays out is going to be more of that, you know, just kind of shot for shot. They're both in similar places and both have long looks to pin, but they're both in the fairway, so that's a good start.
Hey, Abernathy now second shot, hole 5. He just smoothly lays it up within 5 feet of the basket. Great shot there by Abernathy.
Well, and that's just how he drew it up. Just keep the pressure on Bradford here and just force him to get it close.
Okay, so Watson now, he has a long attempt at a 2. Will we see him go for this? We'll have to wait and see. Here he is, hole 2, shot 2. And just short, but he'll be in tap in range for hole 5 here.
Yeah, looks like almost a half go. You know, he just didn't want to get crazy with it. Keep it close and give it a good bid.
And you see down there the new alternate position for hole 5. So
I think, John, someone must have got tired and forgot to take a couple more of these trees out because there's no way I can get my disc in there.
yeah, it'll still be a tough shot. So, all right, Abernathy now. And cleanly in. And Watson for his 3rd shot. It's in. Hole 5's a push. We're all square heading to birdie row and hole 6. We'll see you there in just a minute. Back hole 6, you can see we still have some of that storm damage left over from earlier in this first round, but Abernathy has the tee and we're all square starting hole 6. Clean backhand release there.
Yeah, looking good.
A little short though.
A little short there, but he put the right move on it for sure.
All right, Watson now with his tee shot, hole 6. And he's taking a big wide route, high backhand hyzer, and it is parked.
Wow, he really
You heard him
dialed
say
that one
get
up.
in there
Yeah,
as it was in flight. It looked like it might have gone in.
I agree. You know, he definitely dialed that one up. Perfectly executed. Great flight. Nice full flight with that high hyzer as well. You know, that's the problem with this whole lot of times is you get the disc out there like that and the wind does something crazy with it. But
yeah, there was no way that was going to be going out of bounds with the way he shaped that shot. So great job there by Bradford Watson. Great flight, living up to that flight code name.
absolutely. And you know, again, just he's been solid this round, just keeping pressure on Abernathy. You know, not giving him anything and making him, you know, feel it. And I think with him being short here and having such a long putt, as we've seen on hole 6, you know, that's a scary putt going downhill.
Oh yeah.
The slope of the hill and the road comes into play with that being said. So Abernathy's going to have a choice here. I mean, I think he's almost forced to run it though. Bradford's right on the pin.
So Abernathy, to try to keep his hopes alive on hole 6, he's going to have a good 40 feet downhill to the basket. So here's Abernathy, second shot, hole 6. And it had the distance, but it was wide right. So Watson is going to step up to his fantastic drive that probably would have won the CTP on almost any day out here at Woodland Park. Yeah. He's going to mark it and let Abernathy putt, it looks like. I'm not sure. Here he goes. Or not. All right, here he goes. Watson with his second shot. Cleanly in. He takes hole 6. He's now 1 up. We'll be at hole 7 in just a minute. We're back hole 7, and we're looking back up the fairway toward the tee. So Watson has the box. Here he is with his first shot, hole 7. And it's cleanly down. He'll have a decent look.
Yeah, you
at
know,
a birdie
he
too.
went with the thumber to the gap there. Ended up 15, 20 feet.
Abernathy hits an early tree. He's going to have another tough break there and a lot of work to do here on hole 7.
Yeah, you know, and that initial gap is something to be reckoned with there on hole 7.
All right, Abernathy now with his second shot from the woods.
Oh man, we have a dog that's not on a leash. That is against park rules. Oh no.
All right, Abernathy, he's cleanly out, but it did not have enough distance. It's looking like this is probably going to be a loss for him on this hole.
You know, now, John, I will say it looks like he has a look. He's about 45 feet. He should have a decent hyzer putt. But yeah, I'm with you. You know, this is a high pressure putt. You know, and he'd have to. You know, Bradford's really been solid on putting, other than that one little blemish there on hole 1.
Yeah, so Abernathy now from 50 feet. He takes the backdoor route, hits the top of the cage, but it is short, so he'll be tapping in with a 4. Watson now with his second shot and an opportunity to take his second hole in a row. And he does just that. Watson's now 2 up through 7. We'll be at hole 8 in just a minute. Stay tuned. We're back, hole 8, 240 feet. Watson has the tee, he's 2 up. Another finesse.
Hot, nice
backhand
hyzer.
hyzer, yes, and he is parked.
All over it. You know, that's
He's
2.
dialed it in here on birdie row.
Absolutely.
All right, Abernathy now, tee shot, hole 8. And it's looking pretty nice. If you just cut left for him a little more, he's a little long and probably 40 feet out for his second shot.
Yeah, it looks like this just got a little too straight on him there. And that's, you know, this is one of those holes that, you know, you don't expect to lose a stroke on. So Abernathy's going to have another big putt. And it looks like he's getting those long putts dialed in. They're on hole 7. You know, he gave it a good bid from 50 feet. So I believe he's closer to the 35, 40 foot range here, but
yeah, he's gonna really have to get this too.
Yeah,
he's been bleeding quite a bit in these last few holes.
I agree, and again, from what we've seen, you know, it's all about momentum here in match play. You know, you gotta keep it close and then shoot your shot where you can. But you know, it's tough when you get down to fight your way back. So this would be a big putt if he could make it. But Bradford's just been textbook. You know, he's been solid. He hasn't made any mistakes. You know, big mistakes that's really cost him. So he's just been playing solid, and it's really working for him.
Right, so Bradford Watson is retreating to the backside of the fairway, and Abernathy's approaching his disc, and he's ready with his second attempt now at hole 8. This is a big one for him. And he sinks it. That was great.
Yeah, you know, I'm a big believer in momentum, and I believe that could be the momentum he needs, you know. Although he's not going to necessarily gain anything here, that's going to keep him, you know, and that's going to really help him get some rhythm going. And as expected, Bradford just taps it in on hole 8.
So both guys with a 2 on 8, and it's a push. Watson's 2 up, heading to 9. We'll be there in just a minute. Okay, we're back. Hole 9. Watson has the tee. He's 2 up. And he hits an early branch, so he's not even just short of halfway up the fairway and on the right side. Abernathy with another opportunity here. Is his tee shot on 9. And flex forehand. Darius, that's looking great.
Yeah, you know, that's what he was looking for. Flex forehand. I think he would have wanted just a little more height on it, but you know, you can't complain there. That's, you know, again, that's within circle 1. And you know, with Bradford being down the fairway, like I said, he caught this early limb. Very unfortunate. His disc was looking great, but you know, it's going to give Abernathy a chance here. And again, momentum. You know, it's going to put some pressure back on Bradford. He is 2 up, but as you know, tables can turn pretty quick here in Matchplay. So as we approach his disc, you know, it looks like he is having a little bit of trees in his way on the right side. So I think it's going to force him to go for him. So he pulled his pig out.
All right, so here he is. Watson, second shot, hole 9. And he does go forehand. Didn't quite cut maybe as hard as he'd like, but he's still in great shape.
Yeah,
to tap in for a 3.
Just a little bit past the basket there, but again, I think he's right there on circle's edge for his 3. So.
All right, so Abernathy now to get this match back within 1 through the front 9. Can he do it? We'll see. He's going to mark his disc. I think Watson's still out, so it looks like Abernathy's going to go ahead and try to close out this hole. So Abernathy in with a clean 2. He takes hole 9, and Watson is now 1 up. We'll see everyone on hole 10 in just a minute. Okay, we're back hole 10. Abernathy has the tee. And he had a clean release, got through the gap, cutting nicely to the right side of the fairway.
And he likes it, John.
He is
really
pumped.
Again, remember that momentum I talked about? It looks like he is feeling it.
All right, Watson now tee shot, hole 10. And he's also going with a forehand shot, but it lifted just a little high, hits an early branch, and tough break there.
Straight down, you know, the worst part about that lie, I think, is going to be the footing there. You know, it's not a bad shot. It's just your footing is, it's so rough there. There's a lot of loose gravel, you know, and you're going downhill. So
right.
As we approach the disc, we'll get a better look at that.
And that's one advantage to the forehand shot, that we know Abernathy has a good forehand. It's basically the shot he started playing with, and I'm not sure if Watson would consider backhand or forehand his strength, but he's definitely demonstrating a competence at throwing forehand today. So being able to stand still with a forehand is a nice advantage.
I agree. You know, in a shot like this, you know, Bradford is looking at, you know, just a tough lot.
So he has a good 150 feet. And he actually went with a big turnover. It looks like he was trying to turn it into a roller, but it hits the tree.
Yeah, you know, if that would have got down, John, that would have been extra good. It looked like he was going for a roller there, and you know, just couldn't get it turned over quite soon.
And rollers work really well on this hole.
Yeah. Just a quick side note here, John. You know, match play is pretty mental, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Abernathy and his caddy are talking about Call of Duty over there. Drake was mentioning that how his kill-death ratio is 0.3, which for those of you at home that don't know, that is awful. That is bad. He should smash his PlayStation. But you know, I guess everyone has different ways of dealing with the mental side of match play, and his is Warzone.
Yeah, and he's probably feeling pretty good right now, having won the last couple of holes. But
yeah, we definitely, you know, he's not dragging his bag, not kicking his bag, and we actually see a smile on his face, so that's a change. But Bradford lining up his shot. Let's say he has a tight gap, and again on this hole, that road really comes into play as you approach the basket.
And Watson now with his third shot, hole 10.
He's gonna be short right. It's definitely safe, but he's gonna leave himself about 60 foot there to the pin. So
yeah, it's not going to be easy from there. So Abernathy really has an opportunity to take over this match.
yeah, you know, and I believe this is the appropriate time to say Abernathy is taking over the match. You know, all he has to do here is just lay it up close. Again, he's feeling the momentum. Just lay it close. Don't do anything stupid. Keep the disc in bounds.
He got it pretty high there, but it is parked. It's going to be a tap in for a birdie 3.
Absolutely. You know, he looked at his caddy before he threw that and said it's going in. And I'll be darned if I didn't think it was going in about halfway through the
It's like a Babe Ruth call there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was close. You know, he put a good move on it and kept it high to keep it from going out of bounds. So let's see what Bradford can do here. I believe he's about 60 foot or so from the basket, maybe a little closer as we approach. Looks like he's actually a little closer than that. But
it looks like Watson is going to putt out here on this fourth shot. 10, and it's a little short. Abernathy walks up for his tap in. It's in with a 3. We're back to all square, and we'll be at hole 11 in just a minute. Stay tuned for the rest of this exciting match. We're back, hole 11. Abernathy has the tee. We're all square. And he hung it way out to the left for the big forehand shot. That looks good from where I'm standing, Darius.
yeah, I think he's a little left. It's hard to see from our current camera angle, but
And Watson going with a backhand shot off the left side, or right side. It cuts hard right for him, though.
yeah,
I think he'll have a gap to approach the basket, though.
yeah, he got far enough up there that he should have a pretty routine shot to get up and down.
A lot of elevation change though.
Yeah, no, he'll have a big drop off to the basket, and I guess his one thing that will come into play is just the slope of the hill, but I expect to see him get up and down. Now, we'll have to see where Abernathy's disc landed. I couldn't get a good angle on it, but I believe he's left. He'll be more down the hill, so I think he'll have more of an up shot to the basket.
Yeah, of the two locations, from what we could see from the tee, it looked like Abernathy is going to have the advantage. So let's see if we can maybe walk up here and give everyone at home a view of what the approach to the basket looks like from up here. We've had a few of the competitors in this first round end up here, but we have not been able to follow them up to this point. So, and it's a lot more of a drop off down to the basket than you might imagine from the tee. And it continues into a sinkhole that's mostly filled in at the moment, but
as you guys can see, Bradford probably landed in the worst possible spot, right tucking this set of trees. Looks like he has a good plan to attack it here.
Yeah, just assessing his options. And we've seen him run through a number of thoughts based on his hand motions.
Yeah, at this point, John, I think what's going through his head is just get it close, keep the pressure on Abernathy here.
And one thing that it's probably going to help, the grass is still pretty high out here at Woodland Park, so you're going to have that friction to really slow your disc down.
Yeah, looks like
as opposed to normal conditions out here.
Looks like he looked at a putter, so that's going to help as well.
And it ended up just a little farther left than he'd probably like, so he's going to be a good 45 feet back to the basket.
Yeah, it looks like he caught a little foliage on the top side to slow his disc down though and give him a good stop there.
All right, so Abernathy looks like he has a few trees to negotiate on his way to the basket, but from 60 feet out, it's up and it is just to the right. So great attempt. He'll be tapping in for three. Pressure's on Bradford Watson. He has to make this third shot. All right, Watson has found his disc and he's stepping up now. Let's watch. Can he stop the momentum that Abernathy has snatched from him? And he almost did just that. Hit the top of the cage. So Abernathy should be tapping out here with a 3 and the win on hole 11. And he does just that. Abernathy's now 1 up through 11. We'll be at hole 12's tee in just a minute. Hole 12, 270 feet. Abernathy has the tee. He is now 1 up.
Wait for the traffic. Wait for the traffic. Oh no.
Looks like there are a few pedestrians on the road back behind the tee, Darius.
Yeah, you know, we've seen Abernathy go be on this hole numerous times. So.
He likes to take a forehand shot down the left side, just shave some ivy tree down there, but he'll be 45 feet out for his second shot. Watson now with his tee shot, hole 12. It cut just turned over a little bit left on him there, so he had an early tree.
Yeah, you know, he kicked right, fortunately, out into the middle of the fairway. So
it definitely could have been worse.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he should have a pretty good look here. He'll have multiple options. I think he can go forehand, backhand, or up the middle. So he'll have some options here. Get the pressure back on Abernathy.
Okay, so Watson, with, like Darius said, quite a few options to approach the basket. Here he goes with his second shot. And it looks like he's trying the right hand backhand hyzer route in, and he'll have a 25-foot look at the basket, it looks like. Just, it's going to depend on what the trees are like in his lane up there, Darius.
Yeah, you know, I think I expect to see some more pressure. You know, although Bradford's down right here, he's going to keep the pressure on Abernathy. You know, he's not going to necessarily give him anything. So, you know, and Abernathy seems to be composed. He seems to be in a good place. And I believe he was talking with his caddy, and he's not going to soften up. You know, he's going to keep the foot on the pedal here and stay aggressive. So.
Yeah, he's definitely recovered from that hole 3 debacle that we saw. I mean, there's no other way to describe it.
I agree.
Worst hole we've seen played in the history of match play at Woodland Park.
And I'm glad we got it on camera.
And he's just right. So Watson now with the opportunity to walk out of here with a 3. And it's in. Clutch play there by Watson.
Absolutely, you know, and like I said, I don't expect Bradford to, you know, give anything but pressure to Abernathy.
And Abernathy in with a 3. So hole 12's a push. Abernathy's still 1 up. We'll be at the hole 13 tee in just a minute. We're back hole 13, and Abernathy has the tee. And it is a great tee shot, Darius. He is cleanly 80% of the way down the fairway. This basket is in the alternate position, so it's a little more difficult than the standard shot that we look at typically here.
It's definitely more uphill. It's a tough one to really get to, you know. And
probably a little closer to 300 feet. Okay, so here is Watson. And he goes with a nice, very slight backhand turnover, cleanly down the fairway.
Yeah,
in
really
prime position.
Put that disc on a good line there, just, you know, a little lower, probably than what he wanted or expected. But, you know, honestly, that goes back to where I said on hole 3. He seems to really trust his disc on those turnover lines, where he just hugged that left side tree line and just knew his disc was going to turn, and it did just that. So, great shot.
Yeah, that was one of the better combination pairs we've seen both competitors on this hole so far in this round of 16. And earlier in the match, when we saw Abernathy turn the tide of the momentum, he also had just hit the top of the cage and went on to get some holes back. Bradford Watson, after hitting the cage on 11, he started to come back a little bit here. So maybe he can get this momentum going in his favor.
Yeah,
on hole 13.
That's all it takes, is that one sense of hope where you know you're just dialed in, and everything else just kind of clicks for you. So I expect to see a race to the finish from both these guys.
All right, so Watson now. And he just floats it up right next to the basket.
Yeah, you know, and I think that was really a smart move, you know, not getting too aggressive there and just making sure that Abernathy doesn't make a mistake here. You know, that's a good smart move by Bradford there.
All right, so Abernathy, this second shot, he can get aggressive here and try to take this hole. But you said he likes to play an aggressive game. Let's see if he does that. And it's a little short, but he'll also be there for a tap in.
Yeah, you know, and I agree, you know, I think he was trying to get aggressive, but in the back of his head, he just knew if he hits the cage, hits the band, and with the slope of this hill, it could turn into a four pretty quickly. So that was probably a smart move, subconsciously.
So Abernathy's in with his 3. Watson also walks up and drops his disc in. Hole 13's a push. We'll be at hole 14 in just a minute. Abernathy is 1 up. Back, hole 14, Abernathy is 1 up. He has the tee. And winds are calm once again. 606 feet down the hole, up the hill to the basket.
This time of year, the foliage and the tunnel shot really is what makes this hole. You know, I really enjoy it this time of year.
I see Abernathy taking every second of his allotted time for his shot. Couldn't tell if he's waiting on a person down there. No, it looks like he was just strategizing. So here's Abernathy tee shot, hole 14. And it floats up really high on him, Darius. He's lucky that it got through as much of the tree as it did.
Honestly, that's the best result with the shot so bad. You know, that's the best he can get from such a terrible shot.
All right, here's Watson. Looks like he's going to attempt the roller in this tall grass, and it's slowed down very abruptly.
Yeah, the grass is thick out there, you know. It's really slowed him down. It looks like he was moving right, but it really just slowed him down. He barely got to that first tree there. He definitely put some juice on that disc, so you could tell the grass really caught that.
Yeah, I think honestly it's a good thing it slowed down where it did, because had it gone just a few feet further, he'd be tucked in right behind that tree line.
I agree, and as we've seen other competitors land there, I believe Honeycutt was there during his round, but as we've seen, you know, those shots really pinch you off and force you to a low forehand from that position. So I think he's in a good position.
Yeah, this grass is very thick. That disc did not stand a chance at all.
Oh yeah, no. As we're walking through it, we can really feel the extent of actually how thick it is.
So for you competitors next week, take note. It's not going to get any better unless they get these mowers out here. So rollers are probably out of the question. All right, here's Watson with his second shot. with a big forehand hyzer. It got around all of the trees, around the cedars on the
that
end.
ended up in a really good spot.
He's sitting pretty for his third shot to approach the basket.
Pretty far up the hill there out in the open, so that's going to set him up for a really good approach for his third shot.
All right, so Abernathy now, he has that strong forehand, Darius.
Yeah.
We can see him park. We've seen him park it from here in casual rounds before.
He can definitely reach the basket from here. If I'm not mistaken, Blake David just walked up and handed him a disc and said, "Throw this."
Right, Abernathy turns it over badly.
So from what I'm seeing, Bradford Watson just paid Blake David to sabotage him.
So Abernathy really messed that shot up. That thing flexed and went dead straight. Did not cut to the basket at all for him.
In all seriousness, that was a very poor decision by Abernathy. You know, throwing a disc he's never thrown while in that position. He honestly had a position to get up and down there. And
in a competitive match, no less. So, you know, if he loses this, that is going to be one of those moments that he will have to dwell on for well over a year.
Yeah. Well, that, and John, like, as you know, like, these last few holes, we've seen so many matches come down to this, and now is not the time to lighten up, you know. Bradford is fully composed, fully ready for Abernathy to make mistakes so he can capitalize.
And I think we just saw one of those mistakes right there. So Watson now has a key opportunity to get this match back all square. So it's really going to depend on how much damage Abernathy did to himself. I mean, it's a good thing that it was a forehand shot so that it would cut right at the end.
Yeah, he just put too much turn on it and it just carried with the slope of the hill. But like you said, it did end up finishing up the hill.
And he's quite a ways down there.
Yeah,
I mean, we can't even, we can just barely make him out on the camera now.
I believe he's actually out. So,
okay, so Abernathy now is stepping up. He's going to have a forehand approach, and it hits a tree early. He's going to have maybe 25 feet to the basket. It's doable for him.
Yeah, it's doable, but this really opens the door for Bradford. Here he is with his pig.
Watson gets a little more juice than he wants, so he's now outside of Abernathy's disc for his fourth shot.
Yeah, so both these players are a little further than they want on their fourth shot, but really neck and neck. So this is going to be just a race to the putt, you know. See who can.
I haven't seen a good shot on this hole yet.
As you heard it from our one-man gallery, he's in agreement with us, John. We have not seen a good shot on this hole yet.
It's been slim pickings on this one.
Like this.
Okay, so
I expected it to be high.
Watson now with his fourth shot to try to hole out with a par here on 14. And it's just a little high, hits the band.
Got a little bit of roll there, but it seemed to set down, so.
So Abernathy now, the tables have turned. He now has an opportunity to take this hole, despite his cavalier attitude. And it kicks out and it's rolling right back to where he's standing. He maybe gets to step forward a couple of steps and try again. Abernathy with his fifth shot now, hole 14. And he misses again. So Watson now, opportunity to take hole 14 with a 5. And he does just that. We are now all square heading to 15. We'll see you there in just a minute. Hang on, folks. This is going to be a fun finish. 15. Watson has the tee.
Nice shot from Bradford, going right at it. Wow.
He's parked it. Pressure's on Abernathy here.
That is a great shot, right on line.
He's gonna have to get refocused quickly. Abernathy tee shot, hole 15. And clean release.
Different route, similar.
Wow.
He's also parked right on the weed pad right under the
Absolutely. You know, both players had a great shot there, and honestly, the pressure's back on Bradford now. You know, he's the one with a little bit more of a putt. I'd say he's only 10, 12 feet. But as you can see, Abernathy may have trouble picking his disco without hitting his head.
I feel like Abernathy has had quite a few playoffs, sudden death playoffs in his history out here at Woodland Park. And right now, that's a real possibility, Darius, that we're going to see another one of those.
If his competitor was Dave Quint, I'd say there's no way in heck he is winning. With Bradford's composure, you know, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. Yeah, it's going to be a literal race to the finish. I'm gonna call it now. I expect to see extra holes, John.
And that would be the first time in this 2020 edition of the US Amateur Matchplay Championships. Typically we see some sudden deaths in the first round, but not yet this year. This one's shaping up to maybe be the first of those. Here's Watson for 2. And cleanly in. Abernathy steps up, marks his disc,
and then he concedes the hole
and drops it in. So hole 15's a push. Both guys with excellent drives get a 2. We're all square heading to hole 16. We'll be there in just a minute. And he just smoothly releases that.
Yeah.
And he'll have about 10 feet down the hill to the basket for the 3.
You know, I could just see it there. He's just playing smooth. You know, not going to give Abernathy anything here. Just keep it close. And again, just keep the pressure on Abernathy. You know, that's in match play. That's what you have to do. You have to keep the pressure applied to your opponent.
So Abernathy now with an opportunity to take this hole with the 2 and go back 1 up. Here he is, Abernathy's second shot, hole 16.
It's the putt. It's the putt. It's the putt. It's the putt. It's the putt.
And apparently he had his caddy cheering him on, but he hit the bogey band. And so Watson with an opportunity to get the 3 and keep this match all square.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that strategy in match play before, John. He had his caddy tried to start a chant.
Abernathy's known for his unorthodox style. All right, Watson's in with a 3. And Abernathy also, he's going to walk up to his disc, and we expect to see him drop it in. He does just that. Hole 16's a push. We're all square, heading to hole 17. We'll see you there in just a minute.
Ethel, are you going to go have this talk with him?
We're back, hole 17. And Watson has the tee. Match is all square, only 2 holes remaining.
You know, and John, the key here is going to be stay in bounds, stay in the fairway, and just take your medicine on this hole, you know. We're at the point in the match where I don't think it's a good idea to start getting too aggressive here.
Watson with a big right hand, backhand hyzer. He had some good power on that. He is within 20 feet of the basket.
Yeah, he did exactly what he needed to do there to keep the pressure applied.
All right, Abernathy with a lower backhand, but it's safely in bounds. He's going to be a good 80, 90 feet out, maybe even 100 feet out. So
yeah, you know, I will say I believe Bradford is still a little short. I mean, I could be wrong, but he definitely has the advantage here. And again, pressure is on Abernathy. He's done a good job even when he got down early in this match, just keeping pressure on Abernathy. I think deep down he knows Abernathy can't handle it, and he's going to break.
Yeah, and like you said, there is a mental aspect to this game, a mental aspect to match play, and we saw Abernathy maybe breaking his focus a little bit. Will he be able to regain that focus with maybe a hole and a half left?
All it takes is a momentary lapse of concentration here in match play, and tides will turn. So Abernathy's had a few of those today. Let's see if he can't just calm down, settle in, and just get this one close and force Bradford to make the play.
How far away would you say he is from the basket here, Darius?
I'd say he's a solid 70 feet, 65, 70 feet.
All right, so there's Abernathy's second shot. And he goes with the approach.
Yeah,
So,
and he did just that. He just said, just give me my mid-range, I'm going to throw a forehand up there. And just force Bradford to make the putt.
Watson keeps walking toward the basket, searching for his disc, and he is parked. This is going to be an easy attempt at a 2 for him.
Yeah, the way you said it, I thought okay, probably got about,
So Watson now steps up, drops it in for a 2. He takes hole 17. He is 1 up heading to 18. He is now dormy. Pressure's on Abernathy. Let's see who wins. This is what match play is all about. Watson with the opportunity to win it here on hole 18. Abernathy has to win in order to continue this match. So Watson with the tee, hole 18. And he gets it high. He gets through the gap, but it's going to be left and maybe in the woods.
Yeah, it looks like he got just to the edge of the woods there on hole 18.
That's Abernathy now with his tee shot. And he does a big flex forehand, and it almost hits the red tee sign, but stays safely in the fairway.
Yeah, it looks, he's pushing that tree line, but looks like he got enough turn to that disc. And here's what it comes down to, John. Bradford left the door open, and let's see if Drake can capitalize. You know, I think Bradford's still gonna have a good chance of getting up and down here. But Drake's got to stay aggressive. You know, it's win or go home at this point. You know, and let's see if he can handle the pressure.
Yeah, and like we were saying, there's a disc selection on 14. Dreaming about playing Call of Duty, things like that. That's stuff you're going to be thinking about for a year. You have a lot of time to play Call of Duty and get that kill death ratio.
You know, his kill death ratio is 0.33, and like I said, now if he loses this, don't worry. The next year, I'm sure he'll be playing a lot more to get that kill death ratio, because that's going to be what cost him the match. Which, you know, and back to hole 14, you know, that disc selection, that Abernathy had all the momentum.
So Watson's looking for his disc now. It's pretty thick initially going into the woods here.
I think it may have been right here, closer to the. I think it was pretty close to this tree sign.
light blue, it's that light blue and with Star Wars on it again.
Sounds like it was a light blue disc he lost here in the weeds on hole 18 off the. And Bradford Watson's still looking for his disc in the woods. It's really lost, and what a plot twist it would be if we see Bradford Watson needing to re-tee here on hole 18. We've already seen Abernathy having to do that on hole 3 early in the match. Cost him the hole. So there's quite the search party out there right now. And this is a difficult spot. All right, and Bradford Watson just had, and we are back. Both, sorry for the technical difficulties there. Bradford Watson did get out from the woods. He is currently here shooting 3 on hole 18. And he took an aggressive line there with a forehand, and it breaks right toward the end, finishes about 40 feet from the basket, Darius.
Yeah, up the hill, just a little right. And you know, he's really just Abernathy being in this tree right here to our left. It's really going to just keep the pressure on Abernathy. You know, he's got to get this disc close. You know, so he landed right in the middle of this tree. Oh, he may have come out on the back side of it. So
yes, this is where Abernathy ended up on his second shot. So he's shooting 3 now, hole 18. If he parks this, pressure's really going to be on.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, right now, with Bradford being 40 feet right and up the hill, he's really got a little pressure.
And Abernathy is not happy with that shot. He is probably 30 feet from the basket, so this is going to be a race in.
Yeah, you know, Abernathy wasn't happy with the shot, but he actually ended up just at surface edge, so he's not in bad shape.
All right, so this is going to be an exciting finish to this match. It all comes down to putting here. Bradford Watson opportunity to win his first match ever in the U.S. Amateur Matchplay Championships. And Abernathy clinging on to the smallest of hopes of getting his first win in the Matchplay Championships. All right, Watson now from 40 feet out, hole 18, to win the match. And it had the distance hit the band. And Abernathy now with his opportunity to win hole 18 and force a sudden death playoff for the second year in a row. And he misses. He misses. He hits the top of the cage on the left side. And he's back. His 5th shot, it's in. So Bradford Watson. He's in. He gets his first win in the Matchplay Championships ever and advances to the local quarterfinals. Congratulations, Bradford Watson, winning this match. 2 up. We'll be back in just a minute with player interviews. Stay tuned.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here with Bradford Watson. Just won his matchup in the first round to advance against Drake Abernathy. Last year, you were matched up against Clint in the first round, I believe, and
right.
Came up just a little short. This year, you get your win, move on to round 2. How you feeling?
I feel great. I came out here just knowing if I kind of just stuck with it, I had a chance. Drake's definitely a good disc golf athlete. And he's probably a good 40, 50 points on the rating ahead of me. And he plays his course, I feel like, every day, it feels like. So I didn't have big expectations, but I knew I knew I had a shot at it. So I just stuck with it.
You seem to keep your composure there. You got up early, then you lost a few strokes in a row and just stayed with it. You know, he seemed to get a little off kilter. He has highs and lows, and I think at the end it really got to him. How do you keep your composure during the match play? You know, it seemed that you just were solid with your game plan and stuck with it.
Yeah, solid with the game plan and stuck with it. I grew up playing baseball, in front of crowds, and I was in a band for a while, and that's in front of the crowd. So, like, being under pressure like that's never really fazed me. I think I was jittery at first, and that's why I pushed that putt left on hole 1 right out the gate. That spit out on hole 1 really took the wind out of my sails for like a second, but I recovered, and like you said, I just tried to stick with it and let the chips fall where they may.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your win. We'll look forward to seeing you in your matchup in round 2.
Thanks. I'll give a quick shout out. I get a quick shout out to my Flight Co team. If you're tuned in, thanks for watching, and yeah.